Hi everyone, my name is Chunhyuk Chang and I'm a member of the AV Lab under Professor Seungyeon Gong, and I'm a master's student at KAIST in a corporate program with Koreo. And today I'd like to talk about the safety that is related to our daily lives. First, I'd like to introduce a book that is very familiar to me, which is The Illustrated Rules on Occupational Safety and Health Standards, which is illustrated with cartoons. Generally, we feel about the law as very strict and difficult, but this book was created to make the rules much more easier for everyone to understand. It contains 674 articles regarding the standards that we must follow when we are working in confined places, using electricity, using chemical materials, and so on. Furthermore, there are some obvious rules which more seem like very common sense. For example, to prevent workers from falling, remove all the items from the floor and clean. It sounds very easy, right? But as you can see in this picture, a worker is falling down because of things on the floor. Meanwhile, before coming to KAIST, I worked as a safety manager for 3 years at the Chungbuk Regional Headquarters in Korea. And I managed over 1,500 employees. My job was to educate the newly hired employees and the managers, such as station managers, team leaders, office managers, and so on. Moreover, I inspected various workspaces to ensure workers are just following the safety rules and standards in a correct way, but actually they didn't. These pictures were taken during my field inspection. Maybe most of you can easily find the risky factors. In the first picture, a worker is leaning against the railing on the roof without any support. Probably we can see that he's at risk of falling. In the second one, the floor is in bad condition, so that a worker walking through here could fall and maybe break a leg. As it turns out, both major and minor accidents happen because of these kind of risk factors. Moreover, so many workers get severe injuries and fractures, and unfortunately, they even pass away due to these falling, electric shocks, and chemical poisoning and other disasters. Many accidents do not happen because people intentionally ignore safety rules, but because they become too familiar with their environment and underestimate small risks. In many cases, people think it will be just fine this once, and that is the timing exactly when the accidents happen. However, these accidents do not seem to occur only in dangerous workplaces. This is because researchers in university laboratories are also exposed to chemical, mechanical, and electrical hazards. Although labs are more safer than industrial workplaces, they still involve many of the same types of hazards such as chemicals, electricity, equipment, and human error, and so on. Here, I found an article that shows the number of accidents occurred in university labs in Korea from 2020 to 2024. And here's another article about explosion accident. It was published few months ago. As you can see from these articles, that accidents also occur frequently in laboratories. So I think it's very important to have knowledge about safety. By the way, have you ever visited to the KAIST safety portal? Interestingly, on this website, we can find some categorized manuals about electricity, batteries, and chemicals, as well as specific protocols on what to do in the event of an accident. So, As we are all exposed to these risks, I hope we pay more attention to safety in order to protect ourselves as well as our research achievements. As a small first step, I just want to encourage all of us to check our surroundings, review the relevant safety guidelines, and be prepared for emergencies. And finally, although it was very short time, it was a very great pleasure to share my experience and thinking. If you have any questions about industrial safety or just want to discuss about some ways to be more safe in our daily lives, just feel free to contact me. And thank you for watching this video. Bye.